but I want to share with you how my life was cursed as a child. See, the night before I started first grade, I thought I was smart. Why? Because I could spell big words. I could spell hippopotamus. Now, I would just go to spell check because I can't quite remember how to spell hippopotamus. But long before there was a spell check, long before there was a Google, I used to spell really big words when I was a child. So all of that was the truth until the first grade. The first day of school, in the first grade, you want to know what happened to me? I came in contact with someone who cracked my mirror. And it wasn't a bully. It wasn't a classmate. It was my teacher. On the first day of school, in the first grade, just as I got ready to sit down with my books and I was all excited about learning, I'm so excited about being in school now. I'm a big girl. I'm going to learn even more words. I got ready to sit down. And just as I made it to my seat, I heard these words that I had never forgotten. And my teacher said, "Sit down, dummy." What? Dummy? I knew that dummy was a bad word. But my teacher, the one who was charged with building me up and making me feel that I was smart and adding to the confidence that I came into her class with, you know what she did? She destroyed my confidence, broke my wings in an instant. "Sit down, dummy." That was my introduction to the first grade. That was my introduction to school. And I want you to know what happened. Because she called me a dummy, not just the first day, not just the second day, not just the third day. Every day of the first grade, I was called Dummy Caldwell. I don't know what this teacher's issues were, but that woman cursed me. And because she cursed me with her words, she literally empowered me to fail. I failed the first grade. That's what happened. That's the truth. I failed the first grade because I never got past the words dummy. I literally shook going to school. I was nervous walking in her classroom. I can still remember. I was traumatized. I hated school. Being called Dummy Caldwell every day. I failed the first grade. But something happened to me that changed the trajectory of my life. So yes, my mirror was cracked. My self-esteem, my self-image was cracked. All I saw was I was a dummy child. And I believed the lies of that teacher, and it affected me. But you know what happened? My mother had the wherewithal to take me out of that school. She put me in a new school. And this time, on the first day of school, my new teacher looked at me. My new teacher. And this was, y'all, I was a child of the late 70s. My new teacher looked at me and she said to me something I'll never forget. She didn't see a black child. My new teacher was a vanilla woman. I call my vanilla friends, my white friends. Vanilla is a joke that I have, but she was a white lady and she looked at me and she didn't see a black child. She saw a broken child and she said something to me I'll never forget. She said, "Brenda, you are so smart. Brenda, you are so smart. And Brenda, you are so special. And Brenda, you can do anything." Y'all, listen, I want you to hear this. I got my wings back with my new teacher. My new teacher made me believe I could do anything. She was incredible and she poured into me and I got my wings back. And so because I was under a new teacher, in the tutelage of a new teacher, I flourished in her classroom. I did, so much so that I literally grew up. I became, just thankful and grateful, so much so she has made such an impact on my life. Her name was Mrs. Pentecost. And if you've ever read the Bible, you know it tells a story about the day of Pentecost. And it said the day of Pentecost, they would receive power to believe that they're smart. No, not the Bible didn't say this, that they would receive power. And the day that I came into contact with Mrs. Pentecost, that's what happened to me. I received the power to believe that I was smart after all. Mrs. Pentecost. So guess what? The same little girl who started out school being called Dummy Caldwell now is introduced as Dr. Caldwell. Oh my, listen, from dummy to doctorate, the power of words. Mrs. Pentecost healed my cracked mirror and put my life on a completely different trajectory.